Hello and welcome to my sketchbook tour. This is the second sketchbook tour I'm doing on my YouTube channel. So if you like this and want to watch more, I do have another one. And today I am sharing my sketchbook that I worked in from Of course now the air kicks on. Lovely. Hopefully you can't hear that. But I'm right above the air conditioning vent. But anyway, this is my Canson graduate level watercolor sketchbook. These are really affordable and this is my first time using it and I liked it. I would definitely try it again. You can see I have a lot of stickers on it. I like to do that to all my sketchbooks. And you can also see that I definitely loved this sketchbook and it was very well loved. So it has a page where you can put your information on in case you don't lose it or in case you lose it. But obviously I'm covering that. So here is the first thing I did in here, and this is just a watercolor portrait of my Katakua. I really love this painting, and it was definitely a really nice way to start the sketchbook. It's just, I think like a Fuda brush pen and just like some student level watercolors, and then I outlined it with Posca pens. I really tried to do stuff in the sketchbook that was more set up for the media. I tried drawing in it a lot, but it's very textured, so that didn't always come out great, but you'll see. This is another cat painting. This is my cat Momo, and I did this one using matte acrylic paint that I use for my pet portraits. You can see there's like no sheen. So this is entirely done with those. I liked how this came out, except I made her proportions a little wonky. And I tried to make it look like she was sticking out her tongue, because that's what she was doing in the reference photo. And I don't know, I struggle to get to draw like tongue sticking out for whatever reason. Okay, so here's what I was talking about with the colored pencil and like drawing. This is a drawing I did of Chapel Roan, and it's colored pencil and Posca marker. And it's from like, I think the VMAs. It was where she did like the Roan of Arc performance. But there's so much texture in this sketchbook with the watercolor paper that it definitely gives it a cool look. It just wasn't what I was 100% going for. But I still like this piece a lot. And then I did another Momo drawing. I really like this one though. I like this one better than this one, to be honest. And this was just Posca markers and I think like Liquitex maybe in the back and some colored pencil. This drawing, another attempt at colored pencil drawing, because every so often there would be pages. You could definitely tell the backs and the fronts of the pages and the signatures. So I tried to do, going forward, drawings like that on the smooth side of the paper. But because of the way the signatures are folded, it's not like just like, oh, one side is smooth, one side is rough. It'd be like here's a page that's folded. So this one's smooth and this one's smooth, but then like this one's smooth, this one's rough. Like it was a little, I don't think they folded them all like with one side towards, I think they tried to keep it like smooth, smooth, rough, rough, smooth, smooth, if that makes sense. But I'm going on a tangent, but that's just something to keep in mind, how smooth or rough the paper is that you're working on. And then I was just doodling some really wonky sharks. I don't really like this page very much. So this is obviously Astarion from Baldur's Gate. I'm iffy about these pages. I started by just sketching him, and then the next day I added watercolor, and I felt like I kind of ruined it. I kind of liked it better when it was just the sketches, but I was trying to make it more interesting. So then I tried to do a painting with acrylic gouache, and I like it, but I almost feel like it looks more like Neil, the actor who plays Astarion, cosplaying Astarion, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I like it. I definitely want to try and do more portraits because it's something I definitely feel rusty on. So I still like it. This is another acrylic gouache painting, and it's just a painting of a bumblebee and some flowers. Just like a quick study. Okay, I had to do a quick battery change, but basically what I was saying was that this was my first artist date when I was doing the artist way. And I went to the library and I grabbed some art books and I read and I sketched. So I was sitting at the table in the library and like, here is my view. It was fun, just a quick sketch. Same with this. This is just Caran d'Ache watercolor crayons and a quick sketch. These were fun. So this one I started playing with some collage and using matte medium to collage stuff in my sketchbook. And I found in my supplies this fun like fluorescent paint. Not fluorescent, iridescent paint. I just love how like it looks in the light. It's really fun. And same with this. I found a pack of kind of like scrapbooking / like washi paper. Excuse me, my voice went. / like washi paper in my drawer. And I just layered it and layered it and layered it. So that way you can see how the papers kind of interact with each other. And it was just really fun. I really enjoyed doing this. And this was also collage. It was the same, I think I did the collaging one day and then I drew on top of it. So I just played with shapes and realized I was making a scene. And it's a lighthouse and a boat. And then the next day after it was totally dry, I came back and I used Posca marker to kind of add some details. So this was just, this was actually from my art marathon. If you watch that video on my YouTube channel, this is the first thing I did that day. And it was drawings of just shapes overlapping using Derwent Inktense crayons. Sometimes I really just like to play with how the art supplies interact. And it's just a fun way to loosen up before I do like more intensive art making. Same with this one. This was just a fun kind of doodle. I was thinking of the Stardew Valley flower dance and how the petals all like fly around. It was just really fun. And I really like how this sketchbook, you can really see the texture of the paper when you use these crayons. More experimenting with collage, but this time I used old prints. So this is an old copper etching, this is a Tetra Pak print, and this is a relief print. And I just collaged them with paper I made. I made this paper and then this is some washi paper. And I was just thinking how this is a Tetra Pak print of my eyes and how they say, this is kind of corny, but there's how they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. And I was like, so what does that make a sketchbook? Because I feel like you can tell a lot about a person based on what's in their sketchbook. And it's really vulnerable and kind of raw. And like, I'm not going to share every single page because some of it's just not meant for other people to see. Some of it's like vent art or just mostly vent art and or journal entries. I kind of just treat my sketchbook as a place to work through stuff. So even when I share them, there's always going to be a few pages I don't share because the sketchbook's kind of like the window to my soul. So like this page stuck together, I'm not sharing. This was fun. I just watercolored some old copper etchings and pasted them in here. And by old, I mean, I think these were from 2017. Yeah, I wrote 2017. I hate these pages. I was in a really, really bad mood towards the end of this. There's like drama going on. And so I was like, everything sucks because of bright. It's so stupid. It's like so 24, not even, I don't know, like 2012 Facebook meme coded in my mind. Blah. I like these. This is a sketch I did of my husband, but definitely like I can tell that I'm rusty at my portraiture and I really want to work on that, where I feel like I'm much more confident with drawing animals now. And I feel like you can feel it in the sketch that I was a little more timid when drawing this one versus this one. You can see this was the smooth side of the paper and I had a much easier time sketching and drawing on here than I did on the rough watercolor paper. Just playing with shapes with colored pencil sticks. And again, like overlapping and meh. the next two pages, what I tried was I had just read the book from the Urban Sketching Handbook series that's titled Color First, Ink Later. And it's where you sketch and then you watercolor and then you put your inking on top of that. But I think instead what I did was, I think I kind of just like went in with watercolor and I just sketched out my forms in the watercolor and then I inked on top of it. So you can tell like the representation isn't like 100% there, but I really liked the energy that these have. Like they're just they're very playful. And I don't know, I really I love this one just because it really gives the vibe of my dog JJ, especially his big running eyes. And I just really love it. I like this one too, just like a quick sunset on the ocean. This is an old postcard I did, I think like 2 years ago. It was during Pride Month and I set type on the letterpress and it just literally says trans rights equals human rights. So then I found different papers in my drawer of scraps that I felt kind of meshed with the colors of the trans flag, which is pink, white, and blue. And I pasted them around. This is a study of Studio Ghibli characters. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? Oh my god. I go in between both. I apologize if that's annoying. I really like this though. I think I did the same thing. Like, I think I might have done like a really loose sketch. Then I painted them and then I put the actual line work on top of that. These are just like Matisse inspired shapes. I painted each page with watercolor, let dry, and then I took Sumi ink and a big brush and just drew shapes. These are the Animal Crossing fruits. I drew them using watercolor pencil. I don't know, because I felt like it. I think they're kind of cute. They're not like great, but they're cute. These are both sketches of my belated cat Tigger. This is when me and my husband brought him to the vet. Or no, was this when we brought him to the vet? No, this wasn't one. This is my belated cat Tigger. This is when me and my husband brought my cat Tom to the vet when he was sick. This fall, he had a really bad infection. We still don't really know what happened. And then this is a photo of my belated cat Tigger that our friends who owned him before, who rescued him, they took in 2020 before we got him. And I just love that picture. And this is another collage, but this time I also used some stickers and some like drawn elements. And I don't know what I was feeling scared of. There's a million things in the world that I could be scared of at any one time. But yeah, I was feeling scared. This is a Golden Girls themed page. If anyone's watched Golden Girls, it's my favorite night show. I watch it every night to go to sleep. And towards the end of the series, there's a 2-part episode where Dorothy's ex-husband Stan has transferred his love for Dorothy to a monkey on a traffic cone. But then Dorothy's mom, Sophia, sets him up with her sister, meaning Dorothy's sister. And what Stan says to Dorothy is, good news, Dorothy, I'm off the monkey. I spelled his name wrong though, so when I wanted to do stickers of this, I'm gonna have to like Photoshop it, because I think it's like AK, not ACK. But this is just some playful space drawings. I love the star, and I like the color palette, but besides that, it's just kind of okay. And then the last page says on to new things, and it's just a happy little tulip because it was spring. I finished these the same day, so it was April 11th, and just a happy little tulip. So that is my sketchbook. I really enjoyed this sketchbook. I think it's the quickest I've ever completed a sketchbook, and I've been waiting to film this sketchbook tour for since I finished it. I don't know why, but now that it's done, the sketchbook can go into my tote of finished journals and sketchbooks. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this came out. I've definitely stalled on the sketchbook front. You can see I'm like this far into my next one, And I also started a little guy, like a little tiny sketchbook that I'm not very far into. So I need to make sketching more of a priority again. I've been doing plenty of art, but I've really been focused on my postcard project. But I need to prioritize like practicing and sketching and doing all that too. So hopefully in a few months I will have another sketchbook tour. Maybe if I can get my butt in gear. But thank you for watching, and if you have any requests for videos, please let me know. I have a lot of ideas for short form content, but sometimes with the long form, it's still something I'm figuring out. So any ideas are super helpful. What just happened? I heard a clang. Any ideas are super helpful, and I appreciate anyone who takes the time to watch my stuff, like it, comment. All the YouTube comments always make my day. You guys are so kind, and I really appreciate it. So have a good one. Bye.